Dr. Nathan Cross spent 41 years as a field ecologist, wildlife population studies, migration pattern analysis, GPS collar tracking. He'd mapped the movements of grizzlies in Yellowstone, wolves in Montana, caribou in Alaska, published in Nature, Science, peer-reviewed journals worldwide. His methodology was considered the gold standard in wildlife behavioral mapping. In the summer of 2018, he took a contract nobody else would touch, a private research grant, eccentric billionaire funding. The objective: spend 3 months in the Selkirk Mountains of northern Idaho, tracking any evidence of an undocumented large primate species. The money was absurd, 6 figures for 12 weeks of fieldwork. But there was a catch. He had to work alone. No research assistance. No satellite communication beyond emergency beacon. Total isolation. Document everything. Share nothing until the contract ended. Dr. Cross accepted. Not because he believed in Bigfoot. Because at 73 years old, recently widowed, facing terminal prostate cancer, he wanted one last summer in the wilderness, doing what he loved. What he found in those mountains wasn't random tracks or ambiguous scat samples. It was a map, an actual cartographic system, carved into stone, marked with organic dyes, deliberately positioned across 12 square miles of wilderness, showing territories, migration routes, seasonal camps, water sources, and food caches. A map made by something with human-level intelligence. Something that had been living in those mountains for generations. Something that understood geography, planning, and resource management. 2 months ago, Dr. Cross died. His daughter contacted me, said her father had left specific instructions. Find someone willing to tell the story. Someone who wouldn't dismiss it. Someone who'd understand what it meant. She gave me his field journals, his GPS data, his photographs, and a hand-drawn copy of the map he'd found. My name is Rebecca Walsh, and what I'm about to share isn't about proving Bigfoot exists. It's about proving they're organized, intelligent, and we've been walking through their cities without ever knowing they were there. Let's begin. Dr. Cross's journal started on June 3, 2018. Day 1. Base camp established at 47.8936 degran, 116.7453 degree W. Selkirk Mountains, Idaho Panhandle. Elevation 5,200 feet, dense old-growth forest, minimal human activity for past 50 years, perfect conditions for undocumented species if one existed, which it doesn't, but the money's good and the solitude is better. His cynicism was clear. He didn't believe. He was going through the motions. Enjoying a paid camping trip before cancer treatment started in the fall. But Dr. Cross was nothing if not thorough. Even for a project he thought was nonsense, he applied rigorous scientific methodology. He set up a grid system, 12 square miles divided into quadrants. Trail cameras every quarter mile, scat collection stations, hair snag points, audio recording equipment, soil disturbance analysis, everything by the book. Day 7, first anomaly, found tracks near Henderson Creek, bipedal, stride length 52 inches, foot length approximately 16 inches. 5 clear toe impressions, depth suggests weight north of 400 pounds, could be hoax, will monitor location. Day 9, same location, fresh tracks, different individual, smaller foot, maybe 14 inches, stride length 44 inches, 2 sets now. If hoax, someone's committing serious effort to remote prank with no audience. Day 12, trail camera caught something, 3:47 a.m., large bipedal figure, grainy, inconclusive, but movement pattern wrong for human, too fluid, too fast, disappeared into trees within 4 seconds. The early entries were clinical, skeptical, Dr. Cross documenting evidence but not drawing conclusions. That changed on day 18. Day 18, found something that makes no sense. Was surveying the eastern quadrant, steep terrain, rocky outcroppings. Followed what looked like a game trail to a small clearing, approximately 40 feet diameter, surrounded by dense spruce, hidden from aerial view. In the center of the clearing, a circle of stones, perfectly round, maybe 15 feet diameter. Stones aren't native to this elevation. River rock brought up from the valley, each stone roughly the same size, deliberately placed. Inside the circle, smaller stones arranged in patterns, not random, deliberate placement, and something else. Carved symbols on the larger perimeter stones. Not modern, not indigenous patterns I recognize. Crude but intentional. Directional markers, territorial boundaries. I have no idea. This isn't animal behavior. This is construction, planning, symbolic representation. I'm going to document everything and keep searching. Over the next 3 weeks, Dr. Cross found more clearings, 7 total, all within the 12-square-mile study area, all with similar stone circles, all with carved symbols, and then he found the first map stone. Day 39, this changes everything. Found a massive boulder, maybe 8 feet tall, 12 feet wide, glacial erratic, deposited here during the last ice age. North-facing side is smooth, and on that smooth surface, carvings. Not random scratches, a map. I stood there for 2 hours just staring, then I photographed it from every angle, traced it, measured it. And I can't deny what I'm seeing. It's a topographical representation of this valley, the ridgeline to the east, carved as a wavy line, Henderson Creek carved as a meandering line. The 3 peaks visible from this location, 3 triangular marks, proportions roughly accurate. And throughout the map, symbols, the same symbols from the stone circles, positioned at specific locations. I cross-referenced with GPS. The symbols correspond to the clearings I've found. Each clearing is marked. Each one is positioned where the map says it should be. Someone, something, mapped this territory and used the map to mark important locations. Dr. Cross's scientific skepticism was cracking. The evidence was undeniable. This wasn't random. This was intentional communication. He spent the next month systematically exploring every location marked on the mapstone, and what he found destroyed any remaining doubt. Day 52. The symbols aren't random, they're a system. I've identified 6 distinct symbol types. 1. Circle with dot in center, appears at locations with permanent water sources, springs, year-round streams. 2. 3 vertical lines, appears near dense berry patches and nut trees, food sources. 3. Triangle with horizontal line, appears at elevated locations with clear sightlines, observation points. 4. Square with X inside, appears at sheltered areas under rock overhangs, sleeping sites, dens. 5. 2 curved lines facing each other, appears at narrow passages between ridges, travel corridors. 6. Circle with 4 lines radiating out, appears at the largest clearings. Central gathering points? This isn't primitive cave painting. This is functional cartography, resource mapping, territorial organization. I've been walking through someone's planned community, their highway system, their resource management grid, and I haven't seen a single one of them. But they've been here, recently. Fresh tracks every few days, scat less than 48 hours old, hair samples on the snag points. They know I'm here, and they're avoiding me, deliberately. The more Dr. Cross explored, the more sophisticated the system became. He found food caches, deliberately constructed piles of rocks covering stored food, nuts, dried berries, smoked fish. The fish was the revelation. Someone was catching, processing, and preserving fish, smoking it over controlled fires, storing it for later consumption. He found tools, sharpened sticks used for digging roots, rocks shaped into crude hammers, wooden frames that looked like drying racks for meat or hides. He found art, carvings on trees, not symbols, actual representational art, images of animals, of the mountains, of what looked like family groups, stick figures of different sizes arranged together, and he found graves. Day 67, I found their cemetery. Remote location, north-facing slope, dense canopy, hidden from view unless you know exactly where to look. 6 mounds, deliberately constructed, river rocks piled in long oval shapes. Each mound approximately 8 to 9 feet long, oriented north-south. At the head of each mound, a carved marker stone, different symbols on each. Names, Identifiers? I don't know. Fresh flowers, pine boughs, recently placed. Someone tends these graves. This is burial ritual. This is honoring the dead. This is culture. I sat there for an hour just thinking, these aren't animals. Animals don't bury their dead with ceremony. Animals don't mark graves with symbols. Animals don't leave offerings. Whatever made this map, whatever lives in these mountains, they're people. Not human, but people. Dr. Cross's journal entries became less scientific and more philosophical. He was wrestling with implications that shattered his understanding of intelligence, culture, and what it meant to be civilized. Day 71. Question: if they're this organized, this intelligent, why haven't they contacted us? Answer: maybe they have. Maybe we killed them when they tried, or captured them, or dismissed them as hoaxes. Or maybe they learned over centuries that contact with humans always ends badly for them. So they hide. They mark their territory with symbols we don't understand. They build their communities in places we don't go. They watch us, avoid us, live parallel lives. Smart species, smarter than us maybe. We destroy what we don't understand. They just coexist quietly. On day 82, Dr. Cross found the master map. I've been searching for the pattern, 7 stone circles, but the map stone only showed basic geography. There had to be more. Today I found it. Remote box canyon, almost inaccessible. Had to rope climb down a 40-foot cliff face to reach the bottom. Inside, a cave. Not deep, maybe 20 feet, but the walls are covered in carvings, floor to ceiling, hundreds of symbols. And in the center of the back wall, a massive, detailed map. This one shows everything. The entire Selkirk mountain range, dozens of valleys, hundreds of marked locations. The symbol system extends far beyond my study area. This map represents territory spanning maybe 200 square miles. I counted 47 gathering point symbols, 23 observation point symbols, dozens of water sources, food caches, travel corridors. And something new, symbols I haven't seen before. One looks like a human stick figure with a line through it. It appears along all the major highways and near populated areas, meaning humans. Avoid. Another symbol looks like a group of stick figures connected by lines. It appears at the most remote locations, meaning safe gathering places. Family groups. This is a survival map. A refugee map. This is an entire population avoiding human contact while maintaining their own society. Dr. Cross spent a week at the cave, photographing every inch, creating detailed tracings, cross-referencing with topographical maps and GPS. The accuracy was stunning. Locations marked on the cave map corresponded to real geographical features with remarkable precision. Whoever created this had intimate knowledge of hundreds of square miles of wilderness. Day 89. I tried something today. Left an offering. At one of the gathering point locations, I left dried fish, my own supply, some granola bars and a small mirror. Placed them in the center of the stone circle. I also left something else. A drawing. My own attempt at their symbol system. I drew myself, stick figure, an arrow and the symbol for peace from the cave wall, 2 curved lines forming a circle. Message: I come in peace. I understand your system. I respect it. Left a trail camera 50 feet away. Motion activated. Let's see what happens. 3 days later, Dr. Cross checked the camera. What he saw made him weep. Day 92, they responded. The camera caught them. 2:34 a.m., 3 individuals. One massive, maybe 9 feet tall, 600 plus pounds, broad shoulders, covered in dark hair, moving with complete confidence. One medium, maybe 7 feet, more slender, reddish-brown hair. Female, based on body structure. One small, maybe 5 feet tall, young, stays close to the medium individual, child, a family. They approached the offering carefully. The large one picked up the mirror, examined it, showed it to the others. The young one seemed fascinated. They took the food, left the granola bars, wrapper confusion, took the fish, and they left something for me. A carved stone, football-sized, river rock, on it, the peace symbol I'd drawn, and next to it, a new symbol. 3 stick figures, like the ones in the footage, large, medium, small, connected to a single stick figure, me. Message received, we see you, we understand, we accept. I sat in my tent crying for 20 minutes, first contact, real, genuine first contact with a non-human intelligence. And it's peaceful. They're not aggressive, not violent, just cautious, protective, living their lives. Dr. Cross spent his final 2 weeks documenting the map system, collecting the carved stone they'd left, and leaving more offerings at different locations. Each time, they responded. Sometimes taking the food, sometimes leaving carvings, once leaving a bundle of medicinal plants, the same plants used by indigenous peoples for pain relief. They knew he was sick, somehow, and they tried to help. Day 104. Final entry from the field. Contract ends tomorrow. I pack out in the morning. I found what I was hired to find, documented evidence of an undocumented species, but it's so much more than that. I found proof of a civilization, hidden, parallel to ours, living in the spaces we don't occupy, using the resources we ignore, maintaining culture, language, art, and community. They don't need us to acknowledge them. They're doing fine without us. Better than fine. They've survived in these mountains for how long? Hundreds of years? Thousands? While we build cities and destroy ecosystems, they live sustainably. Take only what they need. Leave no trace, except maps carved in stone that we're too blind to recognize. I'm supposed to deliver my findings to the man who paid for this research, but I don't think I will. Because I know what would happen. The maps would lead to their gathering places, their homes, their families, and we'd destroy them, study them, cage them, turn them into specimens. No, I'm taking this to my grave. The maps, the symbols, the locations, all of it stays secret. They trusted me enough to reveal themselves, to accept my peace offering, to try to help me with my pain. The least I can do is protect them. Dr. Nathan Cross returned from the Selkirks in September 2018. He told his wealthy benefactor the research was inconclusive, turned down the completion bonus, submitted a brief report claiming no significant findings. The benefactor was furious, threatened legal action for breach of contract, but Dr. Cross was dying, had 6 months left. What could they do to him? He spent those 6 months organizing his real findings, writing detailed descriptions of the map system, creating a comprehensive symbol dictionary, documenting everything in journals he locked in a safe deposit box. Instructions. Upon his death, his daughter Sophie should find someone to tell the story, someone who would understand the importance, someone who would protect the locations. Sophie found me in February 2024, gave me everything. I've spent 4 months verifying what I could without visiting the sites, cross-referenced his GPS coordinates with satellite imagery, found the clearings exactly where he said they'd be, found the stone circles visible from high-resolution aerial photos. The maps are real. The system is real. And I'm faced with the same decision Dr. Cross faced. What do I do with this information? If I publish the exact locations, I lead people straight to their communities. Amateur researchers, trophy hunters, scientists who want to study them, destroying everything they've built. If I stay silent, the evidence dies with me, and the most sophisticated non-human mapping system ever documented remains unknown to science. Dr. Cross's solution was to document without revealing, to prove the system exists without giving away the locations. So that's what I'm doing now. I can tell you the symbol system exists. 6 primary symbols representing water, food, observation points, shelter, travel routes, and gathering places, plus additional symbols for warnings, human presence, and social structures, family groups. I can tell you the maps span at least 200 square miles of the Selkirk mountain range, possibly more, possibly extending into Canada. I can tell you the sophistication rivals early human cartography, resource management, territorial organization, cultural transmission of geographic knowledge. I can tell you they responded to peaceful contact, accepted offerings, reciprocated with gifts, tried to help a dying man with medicinal plants. But I can't tell you where, I won't give you GPS coordinates, won't identify specific peaks or valleys, won't lead anyone to their stone circles or their cemetery or their master map cave, because Dr. Cross was right. They're doing fine without us. They don't need to be discovered. They don't need to be studied. They don't need our acknowledgement or validation. They need to be left alone. Last week I received something in the mail. No return address, just a small package. Inside was a river rock, smooth, palm-sized, and carved into its surface the peace symbol, the three-figure family symbol, and a new symbol I'd never seen, a single stick figure, with a line connecting it to the family group, not crossing it out, connecting. Message, you are accepted, you are trusted, you are family. And tucked beneath the rock was a folded piece of birch bark. On it, drawn in what looked like charcoal, a simple map, just a few lines, a valley, a creek, 3 peaks, and a symbol, the gathering point symbol, an invitation. I don't know who sent it. Sophie says it wasn't her. I don't know how they found my address. Don't know how they even knew I existed. But they did. And they're saying, if you want to see, if you want to understand, come. I'm 71 years old, retired wildlife journalist, no family, no obligations. Part of me wants to go, wants to see the maps with my own eyes, meet them, document what Dr. Cross couldn't. Part of me knows that's exactly what I shouldn't do, that the moment I reveal myself, I compromise them, that my presence, however peaceful, is still intrusion. I haven't decided yet, but I think Dr. Cross would understand either choice, because this isn't about proving something to the world. It's about respecting intelligence wherever we find it, even, especially, when that intelligence chooses to remain hidden. Dr. Nathan Cross died believing he'd protected them, believing their secret was safe, believing that by staying silent, he'd given them the greatest gift possible, invisibility. I hope I'm honoring that by sharing this story without revealing locations, by proving the system exists without leading anyone to it. If this story made you think about intelligence beyond humanity, about civilizations living alongside ours, about the arrogance of assuming we're alone in being organized and thoughtful, please hit that like button and let me know in the comments where you're watching from. If you want more true Bigfoot stories that reveal intelligence, culture, and sophisticated behavior, subscribe to Silent Bigfoot Stories and turn on the notification bell. We upload new encounters every week. And if you're ever in the wilderness and you find stone circles with carved symbols, or maps carved into boulders, or offerings left in deliberate patterns, don't disturb them. Don't photograph the locations. Don't reveal where you found them. Just acknowledge you've walked into someone's home, someone's city, someone's carefully maintained world, and the respectful thing to do is leave it exactly as you found it. Until next time.